Okay, so this morning we are going to look at a program called Shortcuts Lot. That is a program that's going to run our vinyl cutter. So you're going to go down here to the start button. If you don't see it up in the start menu, just go ahead and type it in. Shortcuts Lot will open it up. And I already have one open. And this is what the mat looks like that you're going to be typing on or putting your picture into. So I'm just going to show you how to do some basic typing. So I'm going to type, say I want the word picture cut out. It can be any word you want. If you are going to do a word, it needs to be done in Shortcuts Lot. Otherwise, if you're going to bring an image, go find an image on the internet, excuse me, that you want to cut out, and then copy and save it, and then email it to yourself. So when you get to the computer that has the software on it, you can just open it up and place it. So you're going to, the custom size of the mat right now is 24 by 24. It can be as long as you want it to, but we're just trying to place the material so you're not wasting a lot of paper. So it doesn't matter what color vinyl you're cutting it out on, you're going to want to make sure that the word is in black and white. So that's our word. When you're ready, go ahead and say cut with cutter, and it brings you to this. It shows you down here in the lower right hand corner what your word is going to look like. And if that looks right to you, just go ahead and press cut, and it'll start cutting to the vinyl printer. So we're going to look at the word picture again before we get on to editing. What you want to make sure and do when you're looking at the font size is you're going to go ahead and make sure you're on the typing, the text tab here, the button is pushed. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. And when you highlight it, you can look and choose all your different fonts. So I would make sure that you have something kind of bold, kind of chunky. Arial Black is probably a pretty good one, but you're going to want to make sure and select all the picture or all the word. Go ahead and make it the whole thing Arial Black. Let's try this again. Font Arial Black. And the whole word's Arial Black. So what you want to make sure is when you are typing that you have nice big letters so the vinyl doesn't rip and then you have to start over. Your size is here if you want to bold it, italics. I would not change the color. The color really doesn't matter at this point. So let's go on to making a picture. If you want to grab a picture, I would go out to the internet and look at line art. Line art is what it, like if you think about coloring on a coloring book, that's what line art is. Just black and white images. You don't want different shades of color because your software program probably won't pick that up as well. So you just want something really easy for it to do. Right click and say save image as. I would put it out on the desktop. But remember, if you put it on the desktop, you're not going to be able to get it the next day because all your settings clear. So if you want to keep it permanently, put it in your S drive. So I have paw out here and see it on the desktop. I'm going to go and, well, let's open up the other screen. I'm going to put on my picture. So I'll cut both of them out and then you can see what that looks like. So for a picture, a graphic, you're going to go down and you're going to say trace image. And you need to be able to find that image. So I remember that I put that out on my desktop, so I'm going to go browse. I named it paw, so if you just type in paw here, it should, no, it's on downloads, desktop, paw, type in paw here, and it should find it for you. There it is. Right here, hit open. You can see it traced it out for you. That's what you want it to do. So you're going to say okay, and then in here is, I'm still on the text tab, so I'm not going to be able to move it. Go to the move tool and move it and just bring it down so it's not in the picture. So you can, if you click on one of these arrows, you should be able to shrink it and make it smaller or make it really big. So this would be like a 2 foot by 2 foot paw. Also, what I would recommend is if you don't hold the shift key down to keep the proportion, you're going to be able to make a funky little paw there. So I'd hold the shift key and you can see it keeps the proportion for me so I don't have to worry about it looking funny. So when I have it the way I want it, I'm going to hit enter, click off of it, and let's move the picture so I can get those squished together. Move that up there, and then I think I'm ready to go. So I'm going to show you what both of them look like. So I'm going to go ahead and say cut with cutter. and you can see that my picture and my paw print are right here. Okay, so here's our vinyl cutter. You want to make sure that it's plugged into the laptop or whatever computer you're using, and you also want to make sure that it has power, that it's plugged into the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go turn on the vinyl printer right now. It's over on the left-hand side as you face it. Turn it on, give it a little while, and then you'll see that the screen is starting to turn on, and it says US Cutter MK2, and you should be ready to roll. So then what you're going to do is you're going to pick out the type of vinyl you want. I'm just going to probably do a black one. And I'm going to lift these little tabs up here in the back. There's 3 of them, and then you're going to want to insert your vinyl, whatever color you want, it doesn't matter. But you want to try to get it in as straight as possible. Okay, once you have it where you want it, you're going to flip the little levers down, and the cutting head right here in the corner should be in the right spot. You want to click the button that says Origin, and it should be ready to roll. So then what you're going to do is go back to your computer. Zoom in on a little bit. You're going to hit the cut button. So as soon as you hit the cut button, the vinyl cutter starts cutting. And it's cutting out first the paw print. And then it'll cut out the word Panthers. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, now that it's all cut out, you have to lift these levers in the back up to release your paper. So when you release the paper, you're probably going to want to cut off, I just have a scrap piece of vinyl that I'm cutting on. But you're going to have to separate it from the roll. So I'm just going to cut it out. And you can see, you're probably not going to be able to see it here, but I have a picture, and try to cut these nice and neat, not the way I just did. So I cut this out. Then what you need to do is you need to start getting rid of everything you don't want. So this is called weeding. So you're going to start by taking the vinyl that you don't want and gently start peeling it off. And this is why, at this point, this is why you don't want really fragile pieces, because it'll just rip right off. And if you kind of pull it all straight back, it tends to leave the parts there that you don't want instead of pulling it off with them. So you're going to throw that part away, and now you can see I have my paw print and I have my picture. But the picture isn't completely done. We need to get rid of where the holes are filled. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those off. If you can find an X-Acto knife, I do have a utility knife here too I could use if you don't have fingers. And then you need to make sure you throw all this stuff away when you're done with it. So there's my word picture. Here is my paw print. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come and get some of this big masking tape. And then you're going to mask over it. You're not going to want to rip it like I just did. So you're going to release the tape. And please don't waste this. This is pretty expensive and I don't have a lot of it. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. You want to cover the whole paw print and then cut off what you don't need. You're going to do the same with the picture. I would suggest getting better scissors. Okay, so there is your vinyl sticker, and you're going to want to clean this up. You can do the same with the picture. But then what you're going to do when you're ready to apply it, you're going to simply pull the masking tape off, and the sticker should stick on the tape. And you're going to put it on whatever you want it to be on. So say I'm going to put it like on the wall, but I'm not actually going to do that. You're going to rub it really hard, and then you're going to pull the masking tape away. And the vinyl is sticky, so that's going to be adhere. That has its own glue on the back, so that's going to adhere to the wall. And then you're going to pull the masking tape off, and that's how you make a sticker. And the picture is the same way.